Excuse me for a second, trying to get a good angle here. But probably won't have an exactly ideal setup here. Whoops. Just trying to get something that's kind of, at the very least, you're getting a view of the entire play space. When I got the other side, make sure this looks good. All right, load this up real quick. We'll be starting here pretty soon. It's live. Good angle is. We're just getting the camera angle set up here. I think you can see this right here. It's all good. It's upside down, but we could flip that around if we want people to see the.
Turn it around. So.
Hey everyone. Hey Travis. Hey Dan.
We can just flip the board around.
I'm not sure if you guys can read the board from your angle, but at least you can see it straight on.
I'll be right back because I need to see Justin's video.
We'll be starting in pretty shortly here.
Alright, so we're live.
Yeah, I need to share it around still. This is not charged at all. All right. Yeah, don't worry about reading the board. We'll read it aloud. I know the view is not great here, but the only reason you'll need to read the board is for these scheme panel effects, and we'll make sure you know what those are.
Good news is we're going to be getting a couple iPhone 11s soon, so the camera will be way better.
If you only get the smaller pack with just 2 heroes, is it the same size board or smaller? Oh yeah, good question. So the issue boards, these are going to be standard size. So any Hour of Need product will have the same size board. These are going to be bifold like this. This demo kit uses a quad fold just because how the demo kit materials were printed. So it folds it like this, but in the final game it's going to be a bifold board, double-sided. So one side's going to be one issue, the other side's going to be the other issue. And you just fold it out like that. Take up the same, so every board will be this size. And the boxes should be the same size too, I believe, if not the same thickness. I'm not sure if that'll be for the boxes, like the 2-player box versus the 4-player.
Oh yeah, that's going to be dependent upon you know how
we'll figure out
the trays fit.
Yeah. I think it's going to be probably a thinner box for one of them. But
we want to make sure the cards fit properly. So
I'm assuming that this is getting shared around now, but
I will share it myself on my personal social media real quick. And on Twitter.
All right, what was our final vote? Was it Micro Guy and Stride? Looks like Gorilla Micro Guy. But we might have to cheat that poll a little bit. Nope, looks like Stride's back up there. So yeah. So we're gonna end the poll now. We'll do Stride and Micro Guy because I want to play Micro Guy.
All right, I'm the Speedster. These, just so you know, you'll see on the Kickstarter page that these heroes have like kind of custom logos for each hero, so they're unique. And those will be on the card backs in the final. These graphics aren't final. This is just for the demo kit.
Yeah. Nothing you see here is totally final. It's pretty close. It's looking pretty good, but it's subject to change. It'll keep being tweaked as we go forward. But this is all demo kit materials, including our Street Masters damage tokens over here. If you didn't do double-sided boards, would it have been cool to have the outside of the board look like a comic book when closed? Yeah, that was yeah, that would have been neat, but it's almost like wasted real estate as far as production costs because you're paying such a premium for this board. It's cool to get more use out of it by making it double-sided. But the issue guide in the rulebook, because each box will come with an issue guide with the rulebook, and that's going to have some art and some narrative and stuff like that. That'll look more like a comic book. We just can't afford all the art to make a full-fledged comic book, unfortunately. I would love to.
Okay. Now, yeah, we will stop, answer questions as we're playing through because I'm sure some people might come over here. They might have questions about not just Hour of Need, but Alter Quest or Aftershock or other projects. So this isn't an official playthrough. We will have a playthrough video on the Kickstarter that Michael Kelly from One Stop Co-op Shop did a great job. He was playing solo, right, or two-player?
He played two-handed.
He played two-handed. So you'll see a two-player game
Majesty
there.
and Stride.
Yeah, so you'll see Stride in action twice. But go over. Did you already go over the setup with him?
We've done setup a few times. We'll do it kind of step by step here. So the first step of setup.
So we have.
Well, the first step you do is choose heroes. Sure. So we'll go and do the hero setup. So you choose your hero. You get your miniature. In my case, Micro Guy is an exception because he has a token as well when he's on his pilot. So you find your hero card in your hero deck. And it's a double-sided card. It'll have two sides. One side just says hero. The other side says hero/focused. That focus side goes face down because you have to actually pay to flip over to your focus side. So that's your play area right there. You shuffle your deck up, and you're going to draw 4 cards to have your opening hand. You get a mulligan, like most of our games, where you can discard any number of cards, draw replacements, then shuffle them back into your deck. You would only do that if you have multiples of the same card that you don't want.
I drew the same.
I have a pretty good hand, so keep in mind. Last thing we're going to do is grab 2 of our action tokens here.
Also, these are turn cards. So
yeah, in this game, there's no reason to track your turns like our other games. This one, because turns are simultaneous, but if you want to reference, these are nice little reference cards. And these are action tokens. There's unused and used sides. Start with the unused side face up, ready to use. And that's pretty much all of the hero setup. The next step's going to be the issue. You choose your issue. Right now we have the one to choose from. We have Century Heist. So we're going to choose that one. You set the board out in the middle of the play area. You just unfold it. The first thing you're going to do is populate these bystanders right here. Bystander tokens go into bystander spaces. And then heroes are going to choose their starting spots. There's a hero starting spot here, and any adjacent spot is valid. So we don't know where we want to go. So right now we can just position ourselves where it's like, most accessible to where all the possible points of interest. I'm going to start in the middle there, and I start with my token because I'm a pilot right now. I don't have my mech yet. And the rest of the issue setup is you're going to search your issue deck for this issue overview card, and this will have like some narrative intro, and then it'll have the setup effects and everything. We want to do the issue guide. I have it open right here.
No, I don't want to.
Okay. All right. So we'll just go. We have an narrative introduction, but we'll save that so you guys can experience that yourselves.
It's kind of fun to do it yourself, so you don't. But basically, the issue guide will give you like a little introduction narrative. Also, there'll be story cues, like if something happens in the game or a certain card is drawn, you can read the narrative cue to kind of tell your story as you're playing.
So the other part
we won't spoil that for you. Right
the other part of standard issue setup is after you get your issue overview card out, you're going to pull out all of the double-sided scheme cards in there. There's going to be 4 cards in the issue deck. So you're going to shuffle those up and randomize them, and then you're going to deal 1 to each hero, and it goes in their threat area above their hero play area.
So you'll see I have the subway tunnels here, the location, but the scheme is called escape routes. The little flavor text says the villain's minions are securing an escape route in New Crown City subway tunnels. Its entrance is heavily guarded, so I want to go there, or micro guy, whoever gets there first, to clear out that 10, put 10 justice on this to solve this. And you'll see a little hidden icon.
We'll explain that.
We'll explain that in a minute, but that removes a hidden icon or hidden token from the villain, and then the card flips over, and after you solve that scheme, something else happens. So something else happens after you secure that escape route. But that's how you try to expose the villain and eventually defeat them.
So the unchosen schemes will be removed from the game. And then the rest of the issue setup is you're going to follow any setup instructions on the issue overview card. This one says to remove the vault card, which is a double-sided card. Usually most issues will have a special card, like a condition card. So we remove the vault card from the issue deck and place it in the issue play area, and that goes sealed side face up. So right now, the villain's trying to break into the vault, and when they do, this flips over and they have to steal the gold from that vault to win. That's our loss condition. And issues always present usually 2 loss conditions. One from a narrative link to the objective, and then if you run out of cards in the issue deck and you can't draw anymore when you should, then you also lose because you ran out of time. So that's pretty
Christian
much.
says he won't back this one because he got superheroes covered with Marvel Champions unless it's different enough.
Well, you'll see here.
You'll see for yourself, but I will tell you right now, we both love Marvel Champions. Great game. This feels totally different. I mean, it's superheroes. It feels superhero-ish, but this is very tactical, movement-based. Very positioning matters a lot. Marvel is very abstract, but there are some crossovers because you're superheroes. You're fighting. You're solving problems. As you'll see here, if you're used to other games like Brook City, Alter Quest, Street Masters, usually play areas are kind of big. You'll see here the issue player and the villain play area right next to each other because they're not. You'll see they're not sprawling in this game.
Yeah,
so.
this doesn't even exist. There's no villain play area. You just place the villain card nearby for reference while they're scheming, and we'll explain that actually now because we're at the villain setup part now. So we set up the issue, all the issue decks all set up and everything, and the last step is just shuffling this. That's the very last step is shuffling the issue deck. So the villain deck, you choose your villain, you find the villain figure. The villain figure is always going to start, unless otherwise specified, in the issue's number 1 scheme panel. So the issue board you see has this tactical map here with the hexes, and it's a picture of the city district. And all these scheme spaces here correspond to scheme panels. So if you move over here, you would move into the Century Bank scheme panel. So the villain, when they're scheming, when they start off, they're hidden. So they're going to be hiding in the scheme panels, and you have to actually find them to reveal them and put them on the map to have the showdown fight. So she's going to start in the first scheme panel there.
This is the abandoned warehouse where she's planning the heist. Real quick, Travis wants to know if there'll be a ton of add-ons during the campaign. Hopefully not. No,
we try to balance it out
because we're trying to keep this project a little slimmer. It's a shorter campaign, like 20 days I think is the Kickstarter length, and we want to kind of have a very focused project on this one.
Yeah, people keep asking for add-ons, so we kind of have to balance out how many we add because people continually request them, but we know we don't want to go overboard with them. So
yeah, and Mitch backed us up on that one, saying talking about how different it is from Champions, and he also loves Champions as well. So
yeah, I'm a superhero fiend, and I love both games a lot. Like even though I worked on this one, I still want to play just as much as I play Marvel Champions. So they coexist pretty well, I think.
And Leon wants to know if it's the same world as Brook City and Street Masters.
No. So this is a all new IP, one that Adam and I have had in the back of our minds for a long time. It's just all of our original ideas for comic book characters and stuff. So there's not much crossover between those because those are just separate IPs. This one's all new, all kind of exclusive. So now we're doing the villain setup. So we put the villain here, the villain figure. The villain has a card in their deck, so you take out the villain card. It's double-sided. It has a showdown side and a scheming side. She's going to start on her scheming side. So this will start with, you'll see here, an inflict value of 1, and then a danger value, which is how much justice it can take before it's solved, of 5 per player. So that's what we have to do to reveal her, is deal 10 justice to her in a 2-player game.
And then this is her showdown side where she has health, armor, or defense, and inflict value, and an activate effect. So when she reveals, she's going to be much more aggressive and active.
So the other step is once we get that card in play, each player is going to place a hidden token on her. So these hidden tokens track how close you are to be able to solve where she is. So we can't even deal justice to her until we get rid of these hidden tokens, and that's done by solving these scheme cards. So she's going to have 2 in a 2-player game, and then we're going to look at the villain deck. If we were playing 1 player or 5 and 6 player, we'd be removing some cards because there are some scaling indicators on here. If you can see that little icon at the bottom there, that 1 per. If I was playing solo, I would take this card out of the game. So the deck gets modified slightly based on player count, but if you're playing 2 to 4...
It's something we don't like to do. We like to just set up and play if you're familiar with our other games. But we've had lots of people requesting 6-player games from us. Like they want a 6-player game. So this is our answer to that. We're doing a 6-player game. But when you have a game that scales from 1 to 6 players, what's that gap of player numbers does create a balance issue where it's a little harder to balance games for that same number of players.
Mostly because we don't want to force players to play multiple characters. We want to make sure you can just play 1 hero if you want, and you can play up to 5 of your friends. And I'll mention also real quick, playing 6-player is still really quick. This game can play probably under 2 hours typically.
Yeah, our first official playtest with all new players, we weren't even playing, we were watching 6 new players play the game. They played through this entire game where they lost in the last turn. They would have defeated Dowager the next turn, but they lost in under 2 hours.
We have a question here. What are the suggested age ranges? I think we have 14 plus on ours typically.
Yeah, like most of our games are 14 plus.
Because of the text. But I will say, I have a daughter who plays almost every game with me. She's 7, and this is her favorite game that we've done so far. She loves playing this game. So she manages the game, but she, admittedly doesn't use the cards very often. She just does the basic actions, and she has fun doing that. But the cards are really necessary to actually win the game. All right, so I think we're set up. So we shuffled this up. We made pools for our bystanders, our issue tokens. Every issue may or may not have specific components. This one, Century Heist, has 3 special tokens for characters that might appear in the game, so they're going to be set aside here. And you also have a supply of your minion tokens.
It'd be really cool if we could upgrade these to miniatures.
That'd be neat. That'd be neat. And then we have our minion pool. So we'll have 10 minions. We have 8 bystanders, 4 of which start on the board. And I think we're ready to go. We got our dice here, and let's go ahead and get started, I guess. Let's see if we got no questions to deal with.
Keeps tilting your phone. Here, you can see my face. I put my face down here. Hey.
One thing I love about Street Master is most co-op games force you to go dual-handed.
Yeah, we really like to be able to just play 1 player to get a quick game in if you want. So
we got the clues out, we got the tokens out, we got the dice out, everything else is set up, ready to go. We got the lackeys over here. You'll see the minion. Did you cover this?
The villain has
associated lackeys in your deck, and it's 1 of each color. So it's a lot quicker to set up than like Street Masters, where you only have those 4 miniatures. It also has peril tokens. These are common for all villains. They have these colored peril tokens, which again, be really cool if we could upgrade those to miniatures, but we'll see. And then we're ready to go.
So the game round, how the game works is there's going to be a villain turn. This is first each round: a villain turn, a hero turn, and an issue turn. So you do all of these together. So the villain turn you all do together, the hero turn you all do together, and the issue turn you all do together.
I'm gonna go ahead and draw my villain card because we're gonna do the villain. We're gonna walk through the villain turn right now. So I got this card right here. You'll see the villain card has these icons here. These are just resolved, so you don't have to worry about the text unless a special icon appears. This one says it's got a blue icon there, so that means a minion is gonna spawn in the blue scheme panel. And that yellow skull icon is a special, and it corresponds to the special effect down here. So the special effect says, you may discard 1 clue card. If you do not or cannot, Dowager inflicts you. Luckily, she's scheming, so her inflict value right now is only 1. She's just popping us from the shadows. So I will go ahead. I don't have a clue, so I'm going to go ahead and take 1 damage. So that's all you do for that My Villain card.
So I'm going to draw mine, and I have Loyal Crew. So this one, this is a good time to point this out. So this is just that 1 icon, which is 1 minion spawning, no other icons. But this text effect here says Showdown. So whenever you fight the villain during the showdown, they're going to respond in certain ways, which we'll cover. Which we'll cover later. But like the cards have multi-purpose. This one for right now is just spawning a minion. So we discard it, and now it's our turn.
So before we get into our turn, answer a quick question here.
Yeah.
So what are nemesis? So I'll let Brady talk about
So
this.
like you saw during setup, we have these scheme cards right here. There's going to be 4 of these in the deck. So obviously, if you're playing 4 players, you have enough scheme cards to go around. If you play 5 or 6 players, you'll be maxed out of scheme cards, so the other players have to bring in nemesis. So for every additional player beyond 4, they take a nemesis, which is a kind of an enemy with a double-sided card, and they kind of act as their own scheme cards. They can be socketed into any issue. So, for example, if you want to bring Snare into your 5-player game, he's one of the nemesis in the base game. You'll take Snare's card, place it scheme side up, and then place Snare wherever it says to put him, because usually he'll start either in the villain's scheme panel, he might start on the board, wherever it is. So every nemesis works a little differently. You'll have to solve that scheme card and flip it over, and that also discards one of the hidden tokens that you place during setup, and you have to fight the nemesis. It's a more scaling, but also lets you kind of customize your game, because you can even add nemesis into 4-player games and make the game harder. So if you want to scale your difficulty, just throw in some more nemesis for each player. So it's just a free form, however you want to create the challenge level you want.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say I want to go for. We don't have to take turns. We can just
Want
do
to get rid of
actions.
this guy at least.
I'm gonna go do an action right now because I want to go to the subway tunnels to take care of my scheme. I know how to win. I want to go focus on that. Before I do anything, I have a constant card here that you'd see does not have an action icon. Do you have an action icon on one of your cards? Because none of mine do. I have stride, so I have a lot of free actions.
That's an action.
So that costs an action to play right there. This one does not. So I can just throw this constant in play. You might ask yourself why, is that a no-brainer? Why wouldn't I do that? This little icon right here is called a heroic feat. These things, you can just discard the card from your hand to trigger these abilities. This one, for example, lets me cancel damage. So if I play this, I'm giving up that that ability to dodge and attack later, but I think it's worth it because this is a good constant card. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in play. And my first action is I'm going to move. Anybody can move 3 spaces. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Now, if I move into this space, you go to the subway tunnels. Since I'm not there, I have to move 1 extra space. I don't want to waste an action. Luckily, this constant I just played has an exhaust effect. Move 1 space and gain 1 focus. Bam. Stride has a lot of free movement.
You can only ever have 5 focus, and you can also spend 5 focus to flip to your focus side if you want. Otherwise, you can keep the focus to help mitigate dice rolls.
Okay, so I'm in here. I could go ahead and start trying to solve these close down these escape routes with the solve action. However, I'd be taking damage from any enemies nearby. And Brady, you want me to clear this minion off for some reason?
Well, look at your scheme card. Do you want to clean it off?
Yeah, so my scheme card has bad things happening if I leave minions on there. So I'm going to go ahead and do an attack action, unless you want to do something first.
Do you have a free attack you're doing, or you're just doing basic?
I was going to do my second action.
Well, before you do that, I'm going to go ahead and show them one of my actions. So I have this card here. It's called Aerial Mode, which is pretty awesome. So you'll see it costs an action to play. It also has a mobility heroic feat. So if I didn't want to spend the action, I could just discard this card to my discard pile and use the mobility to move wherever I want. However, the effect on this card says when you play this card, you may move to any space. So
just see Grayson Roberts.
That's awesome. Where's his mullet though? He's supposed to have a mullet. Is that literally Mecra guy? Is he dangling?
Yeah, looks like it.
Is he like hurt? Because he's supposed to be holding him like he's a because he's his caretaker.
Looks like he's unconscious.
Looks like I'm gonna cut him open. Maybe make him a villain instead. Okay, anyway, sorry. So I'm gonna go ahead and spend an action to play aerial mode. So it's gonna let me fly wherever I want. I'm gonna fly over here because I want to rescue this bystander. So whenever you enter a space on the map as a bystander, you can just discard it and you rescue them, put them back in the supply, and you gain a clue card. They tell you what they saw. So I got a shared intel clue card. These clue cards are cool because you can spin them to add dice to a die roll, or you can spin them for the ability. This ability says, choose a hero to gain 2 focus. So I can either have somebody gain 2 focus or use this for 2 extra dice in a die roll. So I'll keep that for now. And then I'll go ahead and do my, before I do my other action, or before you do an action, I'm gonna do my exhaust. Now you'll notice here on this exhaust effect here, it says move in bold with all caps. That means it's a free action. So I can move 3 spaces for free. It's a pretty awesome card. So I'll do that. I'll go 1, 2, 3, and move into the scheme panel here with Dowager. That's where my scheme is to investigate what this lockpick is, the locksmith. Sorry. So we both have 1 action left. This is a good time to point out whenever either of us finishes our second action, we have to resolve our threat area, our threat phase. So sometimes you want to time that right where you don't have a lot of things activating that could hurt you. Right now though, Adam, do you want to hit that guy?
Yeah, it's gonna be my second action. So if you're cool with it,
go for it.
All right, so I'm going to spend I could do a free one, but I don't want to give up this constant. So
that's up to you.
I'm going to go ahead and actually play that constant. So that's not an action either. I will do my second action, and I will attack. I'm going to attack that minion there. Stride has an attack value of 2, so I roll 2 dice. And I got 2 successes. These little burst symbols right here, those are, explosions or whatever. Those are successes. The actual burst icon, that's a critical. So that's a success plus you reroll another die. But I did 2 successes. One of them, I can defeat that minion, just takes 1 success. The other one I don't need. Now, normally I would resolve my threat phase, but I have a window to play cards. I'm going to go ahead and ditch this card right here that has a free solve icon, because I want to do a solve action before anything else. So I want to do a solve. I get 3 dice, because Stride has a 3 value solve. And I got 3 successes, so I put 3 justice on the escape routes.
And yeah, if it's not clear, I forgot to mention before we started the hero turn, this is a collective hero turn. We spend our actions freely however we want, so you can just have a discussion about who wants to do their action next. You can also play cards that aren't actions anytime you want. The main limitation is you can't interrupt somebody's action until they're done completing it with one of your effects or one of your actions. But once somebody finishes their second, he does that. Now it's
So I'm resolving this now.
Yes, yep.
So I'm going to resolve this activate effect. If there's at least 1 minion in subway tunnels, there is not, the villain would scheme. Luckily, Brady gave me a heads up. I took care of that. Otherwise, place 1 minion on the subway tunnels. So this card is going to keep populating minions because they are guarding their escape route. I want to shut that down as soon as possible.
So on my turn, I'm going to go ahead and do a solve for my second action. I'm trying to think if I want to save this or not. Yeah, I'm going to save this card. I'll do a basic solve. I'm going to spend my shared intel. So now I'm going to roll, I have a 3 basic solve because I'm really smart, but I'm going to add 2 more dice to that. So I'm rolling 5 dice to this solve. And I need to get 10 justice on this card to pass it. So luckily I got 3 bursts here. So we'll put 3 here to track that until I buy my add-on dice pack for additional dice. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So close. I could have done it one shot. So I take 8. Oops, I'll add 3 here. So I did 8 to it. And I also get 1, 2, focus also. So I get 2 focus tokens.
Now if he had focus, he could spin those to make the successes. But since he didn't have any, he will just gain those.
And now it's important to note, too, because I just solved, after you solve, this is an exception to attacking.
I'm going to chime in on this real quick. They said the shared action sounded like quite a hassle with 4+ players. In our playtest with 6 players, it's a breeze.
It's completely the opposite.
It's totally the opposite.
You're not sitting there waiting for somebody to do their turn. You're like talking, oh wait, before you do that action, I can do this action here. It's like, it's all discuss. It's
very collaborative because you're basically planning, everybody's playing their turn as they're doing it. So there's no waiting for, okay, well, if you do that, then I can't do this, whatever. It's really smooth.
Now, obviously, there's some groups going to have preferences, so you could actually play the game as taking turns. I'm doing my 2 actions, you do yours. It's however you want.
Yeah, that's a totally valid way to play. You can play it like Street Masters if you want to.
But the freeform nature makes it so it's completely cooperative. It's just so much more engaging.
And also just keep in mind that when we're doing these playthroughs, we're explaining every little step to you guys as we do it, and probably talking too much. But
yeah. So I just solved, and there's an exception to the solve action because when you're busy trying to investigate things and solve problems, any enemy nearby you has a free shot to take a punch at you. So right now, since Dowager's in my area, she's near me, which is either in my space or adjacent. She's going to inflict me after I'm done solving, so I suffer 1 damage from this. So that's my second action. Now the activate on my locksmith is place 1 minion in Century Bank. So the locksmith's reinforcing himself, trying to get more buddies to help him pick this lock. I wonder who this locksmith is. So now that's both of our threat phases are done. So now we're going to flip our action tokens back face up and draw 1 card from our decks. I just dropped 2 of my cards. And now that is the end of the hero turn. So we will go ahead and do the issue turn. All the issue turn is we're going to draw 1 issue card and resolve it. That's all it is. So this one says, Panic Guard. If the vault is on its sealed side, which it is right now, place 1 issue token on it if able. So we're going to place an issue. So if it gets 3 of these, it's going to flip over and become unlocked. And here's the art for that. It's a Panic Guard who's giving them the combination of the safe because they're scared. So we're going to discard that, and now it's back to the villain turn. So I'll draw my villain card.
That is the end of the round.
Yeah, that's one round. Yep.
If we had to draw an issue card and we could not, the game would end and we would lose because it's like a timer.
So I have Widow's Trail, which is pretty cool art. It's got a gorilla getting blown up from a bomb. Dowager's taking a puff of her cigar. So I'm going to place a minion in the abandoned warehouse. And then I'm going to...
Scotty.
That looks pretty good. And then we have this bystander symbol here is interesting. So You'll notice there's an empty spot from where I rescued a bystander. When a bystander icon appears, you have to place a bystander on the map. Now, if that icon were to appear when there's no spaces, the villain's actually going to capture the bystander, so it's going to go in the villain scheme panel, and that's going to occupy the bystander, so it's not in the supply. And if you run out of bystanders in the supply, more crisis effects will trigger. So you want to save these as quick as possible. Luckily, I already saved one, so it's going on the map right now. And then now here's Adam's villain card.
I got the same thing. Have a piece. Yellow, minion, and then I can discard a clue or take damage. I have to take damage because I have no clue.
Get clue, man. And now we're going to refresh all of our cards if they're any exhausted in our play area. And now it's back to us, the hero turn. I could probably solve mine this turn, so I'm going to go and do that because things are going to kind of going to pick up pace here. So I'll do my... I'm going to do my out of sight. So I have this card here that says, if your hero is on its pilot side, solve. So I get a free solve action. I will do that, and I get to ignore any nearby enemies. So I'm sneaking by. It's kind of fun. You can kind of see a hostage here, and micro guys on his pilot mode sneaking around. So I'm going to go and do that. I'm going to do a free solve, ignoring Dowager, and I got exactly what I needed. I got 1-2 successes plus a focus. So I busted this card, and then when this card is solved, we're going to discard this hidden token. And then now we flip this over, and now it becomes the locksmith is revealed. It's Loxley. Get it? So when this card is flipped, place Loxley on the map in the Century Bank scheme space, which is right here. And
So
then the
just so you know,
villain...
this is the scheme panel. This is the scheme space. They correspond with each other, so if you ever move into the scheme space, you will be in the scheme panel.
Heroes can never occupy scheme spaces. They automatically move to the scheme panel. Enemies can, obviously. So this one says the villain immediately schemes right when he comes into play. So now Dowager's going to place another token on here. So the lockpick is making progress right now. The locksmith. So I haven't spent any actions yet. That was just a card I played. So now we still have all our actions.
I'm going to solve.
Yeah, because if you can, I'm in a good position to put some justice on her if you're able to solve. Michael says, I don't think I would ever play these games with 4 players. You'd be surprised.
This one you'll probably want
This
to.
game you definitely would want to experience 4 to 6 player games because we played 6 player games, and like we said before, they play in a pretty reasonable amount of time. We could play a 6 player game in probably an hour and a half. But yeah, there's so much more communication, so much more interaction, so much more chaos. It's just, it really... As much fun as I have playing solo, I almost always want people to play with me because it adds more and more action to it.
All right, so I went ahead and put, it's up to 8 now, or 7 now. I'm going to go ahead and play this, ditch this card to just do another free solve because I want to get rid of this. I did a solve, so there's a minion there. He's going to hit me because I ignored him. Solving is always risky when there's enemies around, but it's worth taking.
Leon asked, is not being able to draw an issue card a timer for all issues, or is that specific to this issue? It's a basic rule for all issues, but that being said, there may be certain issues where it says you don't lose when you draw the last card and something else would happen.
Yeah,
but
the basic rule is it's a timer.
Yeah, typically you wouldn't even last this long anyway. You're going to lose or win before this is over. This is kind of a backup timer, essentially, if you're just taking too long. It's mostly so you can't draw the game out.
Most games take about 5 rounds, typically.
Yeah, if you're playing efficiently.
So I went ahead and spent my focus to go ahead and bust this escape routes. So I'm going to flip it over, take that.
Discard a hidden
that.
token.
So she is now available for us to go solve. Stop the train. When this card flips, place 1 issue token in the villain's scheme space. The villain is in the warehouse. This is the train stop. A hero may only solve this problem while near train stop. So near means adjacent to. So we want to go ahead and stop that train. So that was my one action. Do you want to do something before I do my second one?
Well, here's the thing. So we're in a dilemma right now. So we want to put as much justice on Dowager as possible, but she takes 10 to reveal. There's no way I'm going to get 10 with my standard roll, unless I'm really lucky and roll a lot of bursts. So I might want to put some progress on this, because this is going to be aggressively speeding up her scheming. Because if we don't get rid of this, it's going to keep following her along the map. It'll make her scheme more often because it gives her a free escape route with her gold. So I might want to put some justice on this. But before I do that, I think I'm going to take care of this minion, because he's going to keep inflicting me every time I solve, and I don't want to run away right now. So what I'm going to do is... I have another out of sight, actually. So I'm going to play this. This is not an action, it's a freebie, just to do another solve. I'm going to put as much progress as I can on this, Now here's an important thing too. I'm targeting this space, which this is in. When you do either an attack or solve, you target a space, and you distribute the justice or damage as you wish. So I can see what I roll and then figure out where I want to put that justice. Oh, nice. I got 2 bursts there. So I'm going to add 2 more dice to that roll. So I did a total of 4 justice, and I get 1 focus. I'm going to take the focus because I can't bust anything right now, but I want to be able to flip over to my mech side soon. So I have 4 justice to disperse. I think I'm going to put all of that on there, I think. It's half gone because I really want to get rid of that train stop. So that's that one. I haven't done any actions yet still, but I only have 2 cards left, so I'm not doing good with my hand management side of this things. You want to do anything?
I have my last action. I'm going to heal probably. So unless you have something better to do, I'm going to go ahead.
You want to get rid of that? She's gonna scheme again if I get rid of that minion.
No, I flipped it. Remember?
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
So I will go ahead and play this Time to Spare, which is an action for me, and it lets me move and then heal. And luckily, my ability momentum constant gives me +1 space when I move. So I'm gonna try to save some bystanders here because we have too many on the map. That's not a good thing because when more bystanders come out, they'll be captured instead. So I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, and I get a. Whenever you rescue a bystander, you discard it and you draw a clue card. And then I get a heal 2 damage. I will go ahead and exhaust Stride to move 2 more spaces for free. 1, 2.
And we should mention too, this combination, specifically the Dowager and this issue deck, the Sentry Heist, these are very much kind of baseline. These are like kind of almost like learn to play decks. So you'll notice that things are going pretty smoothly because we've played this plenty of times, but also because this is kind of more of a way to adapt to the game. Because Dowager has no special rules, she's got no special setup, and the other villain in the core game, Curtains, he is much more challenging because he's much harder to make progress on. So, and the other issues will have more complex scheme cards in play. These are more direct, where you're just busting them, flipping them over, and getting through it. To learn all the processes of the game. So on my turn, did you do your threat phase?
Not yet. So now that my second action gone, gameplay pauses, and then do my activates on my threat phase. So this one says if the villain is near the train, stop. They scheme. So go ahead and resolve the villain's scheme effect.
So the villain's gonna
panel she's in.
She's gonna place another issue token on here, which busts this open. So now the vault is open, and there's gonna be 3 gold placed on it.
So Lord Baphomet asks, so this may have asked, but are turns taken together amongst the players, or is there a turn order? So every hero has 2 actions, and you can do those however you want. So I can take an action, he can take an action, however we want to interlace those actions. However, once a hero takes their second action, gameplay pauses, and that hero resolves anything in their threat phase, and then play continues until all heroes have resolved their threat phase. Once all heroes resolve their threat phase, the game moves on to the issue turn.
I'm going to go ahead and exhaust my aerial mode, my jetpack, and I'm going to go ahead and fly over here, 1, 2, 3, and grab this bystander, because I want some clues, because I won't be able to bust this unless I do. So I have a trail of evidence, which gives me either a free move or 2 extra dice on a die roll. So now I'm going to, I think I'll spend my action to move back there. 1, 2, 3. And I think I might just risk. So my special ability, every hero has like a special effect on their character card. Mine is action solve. Before this action, you may discard 1 focus to ignore nearby enemies. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to sneak by them. So I'll spend my action to solve. I'll spend a focus to ignore their inflict effects. And I'm going to go ahead and roll.
Because he's tiny.
I'm going to roll 3 dice plus 2 for my trail of evidence. And this might make some serious damage on Dowager. I'll probably get rid of that train stop too, which is good. So Dowager's already halfway down with her overall goal, so she'll start moving along the map here next time she schemes. No bursts. So I only got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want to. I'm gonna gain the focus. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I will put on there.
Why don't you spend 1 focus and you'll get 2.
Because I want to flip, man.
All right.
I'll do it. I'll put 1 on. So I'm putting 1 justice on Dowager, and I'm defeating that. So I get a clue card for that. The train stop is gone, so luckily the train stop was going to accelerate her scheming. But so we made 1 justice on Dowager, and I am not getting inflicted because I did my special ability. That was my second action. So now Loxley is going to activate. So this says
we did consider that. Got a question saying, have you guys considered a mini for micro pilot mode? We've discussed that. The only problem is he's so small that he'd be like a little blob of plastic. I think it'd be even smaller than 15mm miniatures.
And honestly, yeah, you don't have to swap those. The tokens there are just for fun because I love little guys.
Yeah,
and
because your
vehicles,
card will
so-
tell you if you're piloted.
Yeah, it's mostly a visual cue because even thematically, like if you're going around fighting crime as your mech, you can still be doing things in your pilot mode in the same area. So you can just keep your mech out if you want. It's there for fun, really. All right, so that now it's Loxley's going to activate. If the vault is on its sealed side, it is not. He would place an issue token. Otherwise, he's going to move 3 toward the nearest hero and inflict, which is going to be you. So he's going to go 1,
I
2,
just heal.
3. He can't reach you, so he's not inflicting. So that's all he's going to do. And then we're both done. So we're going to draw our cards, flip our action tokens face
Which
up.
is good because I'm out of cards.
So the issue card now, number 2, is if the vault is on the sealed side, place 1 issue token on it. It's not. Otherwise, the villain's going to scheme. So now the villain schemes. Now she can't place any more tokens over here. So now this says that she's going to advance. So she advances to number 2 over here. So she goes to this scheme panel now. And remember, she's hiding. So she's just kind of moving along without you knowing where she's going. And now it's the villain turn. That was the issue turn. So now we're going to draw villain cards. Loyal Crew again. So I'm getting a red minion.
I get murderous intent, so another red minion. You better clear those off.
The red minion. Well, I have enough to turn into...
She's going to inflict or scheme. Nobody's there,
she's got
so she has to scheme.
So she's going to grab a gold. Whoops. She grabs one of these
we'll
gold
read this.
tokens.
Says, if no issue tokens remain on the vault, the villain advances. Otherwise, move 1 issue token from the vault to the villain card. So she's pulling one of the gold from the open vault. And then a bystander comes out, so that we just populate one of the bystander spaces with a bystander token. If these are all full, she would capture it instead.
Yeah, I
and
explained that when you were
okay.
talking that one time. All right, so that is the villain turn. So now we're going to unexhaust our cards, and we get to
Again,
go.
you can see how quick the villain turn is. It's just really, really fast to resolve.
If I could gain some...
So we need to take out... Should I take out Loxley or should I go straight to the bank? Because I can get to the bank.
Can you give me some focus?
No. I can discard a focus. But I'm going to go ahead and do a move action. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4.
While he's doing that, I'm going to play my constant card, Superior Firepower, just to get extra die when I attack.
And I'm going to exhaust my hero card for blinding speed that says you may move 2 spaces. So 1, 2. So I'm there. So unfortunately, I need to attack because there's 2 minions there, and if I try to solve her, I'm going to get beat up pretty bad. So I'm going to... Do you want to do anything before I attack?
I can take care of these guys real quick with one of my attack actions. I'm going to boost it with 1 die. So micro guy on his pilot side only gets 1 die because he's so small, but I have a bonus here to have my mech help me out, so I get 2 dice. Nice, I got a burst.
Base like here. We are launching it in noon, so 24 minutes from now, the Kickstarter will be live, and we'll stay streaming to answer questions, keep playing, but we'll be streaming until probably 1 p.m. I think.
All right, so I managed to defeat 2 of the minions. I think that's enough for now. I'm gonna let that guy sit there. I'm gonna go ahead and do my exhaust to move. So I'll go 1, 2, 3. Oops, that's a minion. That's not me. 1, 2, 3, and then I think I'm gonna go ahead and just do my last action to move. Do you have any cards you want to play that cost an action that'd be useful?
Nope.
Or, okay. Do you want to draw a card?
I would. I have 1 card in my hand right now.
Or you can draw. Well, I only have 2. Hold on.
Yeah, I think that timer on the website might have been messed up because of daylight savings time or something. I'm not sure.
I think I'm gonna spend my last action just to move. So I'll go 1, 2, 3 and grab this other bystander. And now that's Loxley's gonna activate. He's gonna go 1, 2, 3. And he's gonna afflict me for 2. If I had a shield heroic feat icon, I can block that, but I don't. So I'm just taking 2 damage. And that was you have 1 left, right?
I have an action left. I'm going to go ahead and clear off these minions. You're done?
Yep.
My last action will be an attack. I get +1 attack if my hero card is exhausted. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Now we can't do damage to Dowager. Actually, she's not revealed, so you can only hit the minions.
Which is all I want to do.
But
so
you can also hit Loxley over here. Oh no, sorry, you're only targeting 1 space.
1, 2. So I'm going to clear off these 2 minions, and then I'm going to gain focus with that focus result. That was pretty much all I wanted to do. I could play this card if I wanted to, but I don't think I want to. So
I'm gonna spend this time to spare to heal 3 damage because I already took 3.
So that's all I'm doing.
All right, so now we are going to draw a card and then do an issue turn. Issue is, oh no, if Loxley's token is in play, he inflicts each hero. So here's Loxley taking a shot at both of us.
How much is he hitting for, too?
Just 2, yeah. Right after I healed. All right, so then we're going to do the villain turn again. So here's my villain card. Ooh, here we go. Got a stooge. So when you draw a lackey, there'll be a color, and you grab the lackeys of that color and put them in the scheme panel of that color. So he's going to spawn there. Now, lackeys will move around the board, and they'll either move toward whatever's nearest, a bystander or a hero. They'll want to damage the hero, and they'll want to capture bystanders. So you want to watch out, because if they capture too many, you'll have a lot of crisis effects going off, which we haven't seen yet. But crisis effects are pretty much if you can't pay a cost of something, like spawning a minion or spawning a bystander, you'll do the crisis instead, and the crisis is an accelerated way for the villain to win. So your villain card is have a piece. So blue and
Again, why do I keep drawing that one?
so blue, a red.
And I take another damage.
All right, so now we just got to solve. We got everything taken care of except for these enemies. So now we just I gotta flip over somehow.
He wants to know what Kurt on Skype. Alex, you know what curtain call is. All right, so it's the hero turn. I think I might go first anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and solve. I'm gonna solve Dowager. She only has 1 on her. I'm gonna go ahead and solve her. So I'm gonna use my hacked comms for 2 bonus dice. So I'm rolling 5 dice on this solve. I should be able to make some justice on her.
Have you been keeping up with the customer service thread? Because I don't know if I find this important.
No,
check it.
it's not for us.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Ooh, I will go ahead and spin to focus and gain it right back. So I have 4 on Dowager, so she's up to 5 now. So she is half revealed. That was my first action.
Oh, now you're taking. That was a solve.
Yeah.
You're taking 3 damage because he's right there and she's right there.
Well, luckily I have this handy card right here that lets me cancel 3 damage, so I cancel it. Now I don't think I'll do that again. I think I will move 2 spaces, and I'm going to go ahead and attack Loxley. What's his defense? 1. One, 2. I'll do 2. 2 damage to him, so he takes 1, and I flip.
I need to flip, man. I have 1 focus away from flipping, but once I flip, I can do some serious damage.
So I flip to my focus side, which means I have a better exhaust. Her exhaust basically lets her move for free, which is awesome. I do not have any threat cards, so nothing activates on my threat turn.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and attack. I need to get rid of Loxley so I can solve without getting killed. Well, actually, you know what? No, never mind. I'm going to do this. I'm going to exhaust to move, so I'll move into the scheme panel. I'll do my ability, which is to solve, and I'll spend a focus to sneak past these guys. So I'm throwing 3 dice plus 2 for this clue card. So I'm doing 5 dice. I should be able to bust Dowager here and reveal her.
Apologize if we're getting distracted at all. We're juggling Skype conversations with Blacklist, getting ready to launch this Kickstarter,
Yes.
answering questions. So I'm going to answer some real quick here.
Well, here, before you do, let me explain what happens here. So, she only needs 5 more justice. I rolled 6. Luckily, I'm in the Century Bank, and you'll notice here, this vault that she's trying to rob, it has values to solve. So I can put justice on there, any spare justice. That way, if we ever attack her, we can discard justice from this card, which is the effect for this issue, and make her return 1 of the gold to the vault. So she'll have to get it again, so it kind of slows her down. So that's good. But we also revealed her, so now she is going to flip over, and now she's going to go into my threat area because I revealed her. So now she's an enemy. She's still holding a gold, and if I didn't sneak past her, she would inflict me with her higher inflict value, which is 3 now. So, so that's good that I played that focus and didn't take the hit. So that was my first action. Now we can do it. Now when we reveal her, she also moves to the map here. So now she's on the map, and we can start having a showdown. What was the questions?
I'll get it.
Okay.
So we have, will the Blacklist store have Brook City Street Masters expansions added to it? Yes, it will after fulfillment. I know Brook City had to delay because we were waiting on reprint of Brook City for just a limited reprint to address some issues in Brazil and some late pledge managers that never got their game. So I know there's going to be an update for Brook City about that. but we're waiting on a shipment for Brook City. And then after Aftershock fulfills the Kickstarter, plus there were some missing stretch goals and some pledges. Once all that's resolved, any remaining stock will go on the website for sale. Anyone have is there a maximum number of dice that can be rolled? No. If not, how often do you have to see rolls to more than 5? It happens sometimes because of exploding dice.
And clues.
The nice thing is you can track them, but the nice thing is if you get the Justice tier in the Kickstarter that comes with a base game and 2 standalone expansions, you'll have a total of 15 hero dice. So you'll be set. You can still buy more if you want. If you want 6 players to have enough dice for 6 players, but you'll have a lot of dice.
Yeah, and also it's like we usually just track the tokens. It's pretty easy to do that. But also just as a note, some issues and some villains will actually limit how many dice you can roll just through effects. So like there's more pacing that makes it more difficult. This one's pretty easy, so you can just do huge heroic feats because it's not supposed to be much of a challenge. It's more here's a learning game. You can make it more challenging by throwing in more nemesis and stuff like that. So
came in late. Is the focus side kind of like the charge side from Street Masters? It's sort of like that, but in this you have a choice. When you have 5 focus, you can choose to spend them. It's not automatic. And then every hero has different, like for example, Micro Guy, he has a pilot side. When he flips to his charge side, he's in his mech. And so different heroes have different mechanics for that, how that works. Are the base range for the enemies the same color as Street Masters? I think we'll stockpile this during the Kickstarter. Yes, but we're not sure. We can't confirm that they're going to be the same size. I know we had an issue with Aftershock.
They changed the base size.
A little smaller. I know for Alter Quest, we're not going to have those small, tiny bases like Street Masters. So we're not sure about the size, but they will be very similar to that. And you'll need a lot less of them in this game. Will Aftershock be available in the Pledge Manager or on the store? It will be Aftershock will be available as while supplies last on the Blacklist web store. If it sells out, then we're going to address that. We're not sure how we're going to reprint Aftershock or re-release it. We're not sure yet, but we will definitely be taking feedback about that. And yes, this game looks like Street Masters and Brook City mixed. It can feel like that. It's got the Brook City movement optimization feel to it.
Also that investigation theme where you're just kind of trying to make progress on investigations and stuff. And
but it's not like tactical combat like Street Masters. It's a little more abstract than that.
So real quick, are you done with that?
I think I am. Yeah, I think I'm caught up with all the questions.
So right now I'm in a unique position where I have a card that I can exhaust to boost my attack. I also have it's tough. I'm wondering if I want to save another bystander to get some more clues. We're gonna need to stockpile some clues for the showdown. But let me show you how a showdown works real quick. So right now I'm in a position where I can attack because I have a boost to my attack. If I had one more focus, I could flip over, but this might help me flip over. So I'll play my last action to attack. Oops, lost my action token. And then I'm gonna exhaust my superior firepower card and gain a bonus die. So I'm gonna roll 2 dice against Dowager, which is not smart, but I want to show you how the show works, and I also want to see if I can get some focus out of this. Hey, I did. I got 1 focus. So before I resolve this, the first thing I do is flip over a villain card to see what the showdown effect is. This one says, this is the Widow's Trail. So this says, after this attack, you must discard a peril card from play. So I'll do this after this attack. I'll explain this effect. So right now, I'm not hitting her because I did 1 damage. She blocks that with her defense, but I get a focus out of this. So that was a whiff, but at least I got one of my focus that I needed. And then it says, after this attack, you must discard a peril card from play. I can't. If I did, I'd get blown up. Otherwise, search the villain deck and discard pile for a copy of Widowmaker and put it into play. That's not good.
The Widowmaker is the peril card. Every villain has their own kind of perils. She has bombs.
So we have I'll put a yellow peril into play.
And you see Brady right now has 4 cards in his threat area. That's typically the most I ever see in this game. So he might draw another Lackey or another Stooge or Widowmaker. It's pretty rare to have more than that many cards because they don't last very long. Widowmakers will blow up. Stooges will if you did.
And most additional cards that you add in the game will go in the issue play area if they add more crisis effects or something. If those are like the modular rules.
No, we don't have heads. Our necks end in the mouth, so we're just talking out of our necks. What is the minimum age you would recommend for this game? 14 plus is most of our games because of the amount of text. But Brady's daughter, how old is she now? I forget. 7, 8?
She's 7. She's turning 8 in January.
She plays this game, and she really enjoys it. I think she's a little advanced on the reading side, though.
So here's an interesting situation. So right now we're at a time where these would all activate, and the Widowmaker kind of is not fun because it blows up one of our bystanders, which is removed from the game. But I also want to get a clue card, so I might do this. Right now, I would have to activate these, but I have a window to play cards or do effects that don't cost actions. So I'm going to use my Heroic Feat right here, this mobility. This lets me go to any space I want. So I'm going to go ahead and fly over here. And then I'm going to spend this Heroic Feat, which is a free solve action. So I got to throw 3 dice here to see if I can solve this Widowmaker. I might not solve it, but I can maybe get some focus out of this. Hey, I got a burst. All right. And a focus. Cool. All right, this is good. I solved it, and I got a focus out of it. That's exactly what I wanted. So I got my focus. Now I'm going to spin that immediately to flip to my mech side. So I'm going to get my mech out. And then I solve this, which is gone. So now it won't activate, and I get a clue for that.
Is there a way to get the Street Masters lore book from the store later, and will we be able to get more dice from both Street Masters and Brook City? Yes, I will say yes while supplies last. I'm not sure how many we printed of the compendium, but it is a highly demanded item, so it's not out of the question if we sell out. Then it's possible it might get reprinted, but we will put up the remaining stock on the web store after the fulfillment ends. The minions and the villain move across the board as Street Masters. Yes, the villain, once the villain is revealed, they will be moving around the map. Minions stay in the scheme panels, but the lackeys, they're always on the map. The lackeys are like the henchmen from the villain. They'll move around the map all the time.
And there will be modular rules that add more enemy types to the game that will make it, more action going on on the map. But other issues, like for example, there's an issue where you're trying to prevent the villain from stealing a bunch of Brink bots, which are Joshua Brink is Micro Guy, and he makes a bunch of these automated bots, and the villain's trying to steal them. So he's like, the bots are leaving the map. You have to go stop them. So you have a lot more fighting going on in that issue. So right now, I would solve my threat phase, but I have one more thing to do now. Since I flipped over to my suit side, I'm going to go ahead and exhaust that to do a free attack, and I get 3 dice from a basic attack. And I'm going to go ahead and attack Loxley because he's annoying. So I got 1, 2, 3. He has 1 shield, so I'm doing 2 damage to him, and I'm getting 2 focus out of this. So he's got 3 damage. I'm getting 2 focus. Not too bad. Now I activate. He's going to attack you for 2 damage. The Stooge is going to move over toward the bystander. 1, 2, 3. He would kidnap the bystander if he was on that space. He can't quite reach it yet. And now Dowager's going to hit both of us for 3 damage because she's crazy. So we're both getting hit for 3.
Oh, I am 1 away from defeat.
I'm half dead already. Things can spiral out of control quick. So that was my turn, my threat turn. You're done.
Yeah.
So now we draw a card. I'm running low on cards. And the issue deck is Crisis.
Actually, when she inflicted,
yes.
She was just afflicting nearby, or was it everybody?
Yeah, afflicted everybody within 4 spaces.
I couldn't get away from that.
So this card, there's one of these cards in every issue deck. A crisis occurs. That just means you resolve the crisis effect in play, or each crisis effect if there are more than one. So you must either move 1 issue token from this card to the villain, or move 1 issue token from the villain card to the issue overview card. Now, if she gets 3 here, she wins. So we'll move 1 from the vault to her, and now it's back to her turn. So my card for her is Loyal Crew. So she's going to place a minion in the blue space there, and Adams is
we're
a
down
Stooge.
to less than 10 minutes to launch.
There's Adam's Stooge.
I don't want a Stooge.
We probably finish this game off here too in 10 minutes. So now it's our turn. We stand our cards up, and now it's ready to get the final battle here, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and do my free exhaust to attack. I'm going to do Loxley again. I'm going to keep hitting him. I'm going to do a bonus die to that. So I'm doing 4 dice. I got no bursts, but I did 1, 2, 3, 4 damage with 2 focus, and that means he's taken 3. So he has got 4 left. I might attack him again. Oops, I forgot to move over there. I have to move to do that. And then I think I might just attack again. Attack Loxley again for 3 dice. Come on, burst. Come on, bursts. Dang it. So I did 2. He blocks 1, so 1 gets through. I could spend a focus to make another one, which I think I'm going to do that.
Chris, if you scroll up in the chat, I posted a link to the preview page. But also, I believe Blacklist's Facebook page has a post about that. That's where I pulled it from.
Now, after I finish my last action, if I don't kill Loxley, he's going to go. So do you want to go first?
How much does he have left?
He has 2 left. Dowager hasn't been touched yet.
I'm going to go ahead and finish him off then. Oh, I got 2 criticals. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I should attack Dowager with this one. 5, 6, 7. 7 damage on Loxley.
7? That's kind of overkill.
Are you wearing the same shirt as me again?
You keep saying that. This is a Flash shirt.
It's the exact same
the
color.
Flash. Well,
This
that's
is
your
embarrassing.
fault.
This is embarrassing.
So you get a clue card for that. Loxley is out of the game. So once you defeat the other side of the scheme card, it just gets removed from the game. So no more Loxley. Now we have Dowager to contend with. So I guess my next action will just be to attack Dowager.
I'm gonna move 1 space and you can focus.
Unless I have anything cool to do here. Yeah. I'm gonna go and attack Dowager. So I'll do my last action. I get 3 dice. I'll spend this shared intel to do 4 dice.
Aftershock will be available in the web store. Supply with while supplies last. I'm not sure how many copies of Aftershock we will have left over after fulfillment, but if there are any, they will be up for sale in the web store. Once those are sold out, we will figure out what we're doing with Aftershock, if we're going to be repackaging it. I know that we're not selling the box in retail. We can't do it. It's too big. But we'll figure something out, and we'll definitely update backers.
It's
or
bad
fans.
news.
What?
It's bad news.
We're gonna
I
lose?
did an attack. I'm doing 6 damage, but before I apply that, I'm doing a showdown effect. This says she immediately inflicts. She's doing 3 to me. I have nothing to block with, so I'm taking 3 damage.
There, Chris, I share that link again, but it won't be good in 5 minutes or so when the game actually launches. I will post a link to the Kickstarter in here once it launches as well.
So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage to her. She blocks 1. She's taking 5, and then I'm gonna gain. I will spend a focus to convert another one into a hit. So she's got 6 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, 6 total. All right. That's all I can do. So
I have one
he's
action
going to
left.
activate. He's going to capture this bystander. It goes to the nearest
I think I would have moved
scheme
on
panel, which
the
is
other
here.
side of her, I think.
So now we got a captured bystander, and then she's going to inflict us, and she defeats me. So when you get
Wait,
defeated,
she inflicts.
yeah.
She defeats both of us.
So she defeats both of us. So we flip over to our unfocused side. We discard any focus we might have. I'm going back to the start space, and then we resolve this the crisis effect. So she's moving 1 here, and then the one for Adam's defeat, she's moving 1 here. So she owns 2 more here to win. So this is not going so well.
5 minutes to go.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom while you finish up your turn,
All right.
and then you do the issue turn after that.
Make sure we got the finger on the launch button here. All right. I think on my turn, I'm going to go ahead and exhaust to move 2 spaces. And I will try to do some damage to Dowager here. I get +1 die because my card's exhausted, so 3 dice. I'm going to go ahead and use my clue card to get 2 bonus dice, so I'm at 5 dice now. Where's the 5th? Brady just rolled it, didn't he? I'm totally not seeing it. Did you take it with you, Brady? Oh, there it is. Found it. All right. Got 1 critical. All right, so I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. I have no focus, so I can't spend it, and I gotta draw a showdown card. This one says after its attack. Let's see what happens after the attack. So 1, 2, 3 damage, and I get 3 focus. She's blocking 1, so she takes 2.
Weak.
And it says I have to exhaust one of my constant cards in play or suffer 4 damage. That's fine because I don't need that one. So that's not that
If
bad.
only we had 1 more.
So that
justice
was
on
my
here.
second action. So this guy's activating. He's gonna go. You're the nearest guy, so he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, and micro guy pops up, and the suit sees him and thumps him for 3 damage. 2 damage. I was looking at his move 3.
Okay, so that's crisis issue turn. So we draw a card. Issue turn. We'll have to probably stop it after this round here to. So if Gabby Wood's token is in play, she is not. So the villain's gonna scheme. She's gonna grab the. She's gonna advance now. So she now that she has all the gold from the vault, she's gonna advance to the next scheme space over here. So she's gonna run away over here. And now we have to go chase her down. Luckily, she's closer to me now. So then we would do the villain turn. We should probably stop there until launch and then finish it up. Or
No, we can.
Okay.
We can pause in whatever we're doing.
All
It's
right,
fine.
Okay. So
I have 1 action left.
wait,
Actually,
I thought you said you're done. I just did the issue turn.
didn't flip my
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say.
yeah.
So now you flip it back up, and now my villain is have a piece. So she's getting a red minion. Oops, that's the wrong token. By the way, we're running low on
Look at
minions
this
here, Adam.
horrible card.
We have
horrible
3
hand.
minions left here.
So we should go.
Oh, I'm taking 3 damage. I'm taking another 3 damage. What the heck? I'm half dead already.
What? Useless. It's useless right now.
What are they? Moves?
Yeah.
I could use them. That should actually be ordained focus, right?
Actually, I might need it for this part.
That would be good. Is each hero gains a focus or
So
discards a focus to
we're
move?
back to the. Did you do the villain turn?
I did my card.
You already did the issue turn and everything?
Yeah, this is we'll do your villain cards.
So my villain card is a yellow stooge, right next to me. How much does she have left?
She's almost half dead. She's got 12 left.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead.
Wait, no, sorry. She's got 30. Never mind. She's she's got a lot left.
1, 2 to get away from that guy. Then I am gonna use this card to discard a focus to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go ahead and use my first action to attack her. Can you boost it at all for me?
I got nothing. Oh, wait. Yes, I get 1.
One, 2, 3. Showdown. No showdown. Thank you. So I'm gonna spend a focus to do 4 damage to her. So she's taking 3. So she's up to 10. She's got 11 out of 30. All right. Do you want to do something before I go again? I can help you move if you need to move.
Well, I can move. I can't do much right now until I flip over.
Oh, I spent that focus.
So, no, I got when size matters. So I'll flip this over, and I'll draw a card, and I become focused.
Could you do some prints or posters or stretch goals? We can see if that's a popular one. People keep asking for that. That's definitely a possibility. I honestly haven't planned on that, but more than open to it. Any chance for playable villains? Love the Redemption Pack Street Masters. Not sure yet. We'll see.
I'll attack. So I'm getting 3 dice on her, on Dowager.
All right.
Oh, burst.
I think we are live.
I got a burst. 4 damage.
We are live. Let's see how this looks here.
No showdown, so 4 damage. She's taking 3.
Let's see if Kickstarter will let me in.
But she's definitely gonna defeat me, dude. We're gonna lose. We lost this one. It's gonna be down to the wire.
I don't see it. It's not working for me.
For some reason, they don't always show up on the search or the browse thing. Yeah, I don't see it yet.
Let's see if we can get this going here. You guys can see behind the scenes of the frustrations of launching a Kickstarter on time. Yep. Sorry, false alarm. I think they're working on getting that going. There was an error on the loading screen or something.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it here.
But I can post. Do we have a link to the? I actually have this issue too, and I'm excited about Kickstarter that I want to back, and I'm ready there right when it's supposed to launch, and it takes like 5 minutes, and it's frustrating.
Yeah, for some reason, stuff doesn't show up on browse for me either. Like when I want it to.
I'm gonna slap that guy for getting me all excited.
Scotty? Or
No, so the other one. All right, so you said we were gonna lose.
Well, I have 1 action left. I'm already half dead. She has got. Oh, she's officially. Oh no, she's 1 away from officially being half defeated. We have no justice on this. I could go back here and try to solve some of this.
I can give you 1 move action.
Well, I have a mobility. Or this one right here, I could teleport back, but she would do damage to you. Choices, man. I just can't. I don't think I can dish out enough damage unless I get a clue card. should have paced ourselves a little more here before diving into the showdown. This is another tactical discussion here, is because you can rush the showdown, but if you don't have clues built up or cards built up,
Yeah, if you have clues, it's easy. But if you don't have the clues, you don't have the dice.
we got caught up in showing you the action, but I wasn't thinking very clear to the end. Yeah, it's supposed to be live now. There's probably just an error loading it up, so
It happens sometimes. It's annoying. I'm annoyed. We're just bugging Blacklist about it. Seems like this happens every single time. There's always some error, like right when you're launching it. Maybe now? Let's check now. There it is. Now it's live. Let me get the link here.
where are you seeing it?
I just in my
Menu?
in my list.
We'll see if it's in the browse section yet.
I'll post a link here in the chat. That should work for me or for you guys. Let me know if that doesn't work. Yep,
Where'd
looks
you
like
put it?
we're getting some funding. It's in the comments. You didn't see me post it.
No. Did I miss it?
Am I not? Are links not showing up in comments?
Well, I don't even see your name pop up. Everyone else is saying they're seeing it though, so it's fine. I'll just do a search for it, see if it pops up. There it is. Yep. 5% funded. Great.
Yeah, hopefully you guys all see it now.
There we go. We are live. I'm gonna share this round too.
Oh, cool! The Man vs. Meeple video is live. I haven't even watched that yet. All right. So Kickstarter's live. We should leave a comment saying join us in the live stream here. All right. We're a tenth of the way there, I think.
Oh, we got some backers here. Thanks for backing, everybody.
We're live. Yeah. And we're about to lose.
We're definitely gonna lose. Look how crowded this is right here. This is not. These guys should not be hanging around for the showdown. That's the problem right now.
Hey, Shiro's back. Olaskos. I know that name. Good Mitch is in the comments. Thanks for all you guys backing. Thanks for joining us. We've been playing Hour of Need here for the last hour, chatting and answering questions, and we are about to lose because we've been so distracted and not playing optimally. And we apologize if we're being quiet because we're getting messages all over the place. You know, like
Yeah, whenever this happens.
Kickstarter launching, it's like we're
Open up 50 tabs. Make sure you're on top of everything all at once. And I'm not positive. Carson asked if we can add Street Masters. I'm not sure if we'll have stuff like that in the Pledge Manager afterward, if we're able to do that, because we'll have a better idea of the stock. But we can't do it on the Kickstarter page itself because we just don't have active stock. We're always doing the fulfillment process. So it might be something in the Pledge Manager. I'll check on that and see if it's possible.
all right. All right, so we're missing questions. I'm not sure.
I was
Back. Thanks for backing. Thanks Perry. Thanks Dan. Thanks Any news about the missing stretch goals from Street Masters? There will be an update for Aftershock. Finally working out the issue. Seems like, I believe, pretty much every Street Masters tier backer did not. Most of them did not get the Aftershock stretch goals. Blacklist is working out the list of all his backers with Black Box.
Should we adjust this, or are we gonna finish this? You think?
We can finish it real quick, but
I could adjust the camera.
I think we did lose. So I mean, unless you want,
Yeah,
I guess
I'll
we'll
just-
just let the loss.
yeah,
we
we-
lost this game. This game
Hope-
is over.
Well, we're happy to play another live.
Yeah,
play
we'll
50
take a
one,
we'll
but-
take a break and just chat
why
with you
do this
guys.
thing?
It's that top one. I thought
This one?
top one is the
This?
the arm.
Let me know when.
Up higher, lower, right about lower, a little lower. That's
What?
good. Right there. That's good. We want some of the table, something. I just got a haircut, so I'm all ready for my camera time. All right, so yeah, so Street Masters. I believe there'll be an update this week, maybe even today, about the situation that's going on. It's definitely, I think the Blacklist got their own shipment just to verify what was going on. Found out that Street Masters tier backers weren't getting their Aftershock stretch goals. Aftershock backers weren't getting the card pack, the errata pack. Just so you know, the errata pack, if you got the original game through the Kickstarter, all those errata cards are already in the game. But if you bought just the Aftershock pledge level, you should have gotten an errata pack. And if you didn't, you will be taken care of. Wait for the update though. There'll be lots of information in there, but things are progressing. So, got to run, guys. Game looks great. Thank you. Thanks, Travis. How does one find out what backer you are? I believe you can go to your list and see the information about what backer you are, but I'm not sure. Backer 92. Thanks for backing anyway, even if you were slow. All right. Let's see what the Kickstarter's doing. Yeah, 10,000. Not bad. Oh, it's higher than that. Okay, I can't keep up with it, so. Alright, so let's get Stooges out of here. We just played through a 2-player playthrough against Dowager, and we lost terribly.
No, there won't be a stretch goal for micro guy figure, just because it would, to the scale, it wouldn't look good. It'd be out of scale. Honestly, we're talking before. There's not really a definite need for that token. It's more just there for fun, for flavorful purposes, as a visual cue to remind yourself, oh yeah, because his card clearly shows, oh, I'm a pilot or I'm in my mech. And I was saying before, if you're just using your mech miniature and you're moving around the board and you flip over to your pilot side, it still makes sense that your mech's there because you're just ejecting out and doing some stuff, in the same area. So it's mostly a thematic thing. But we talked about jokingly making a miniature for it, but it wouldn't look good. It'd be just a base with like a little tiny dot on it.
Wild Inferno wants to know if there is an estimate when the regular stuff will ship for Aftershock. I might be at the end of the line, but I haven't seen any emails yet. Just so you know, we haven't seen ours yet either. We found out that when we've used Black Box, fulfillment takes quite a bit of time, like weeks even. So don't fret. Blacklist will put an update saying fulfillment is over. If you didn't get something, let us know. But until you see that update, don't worry. Fulfillment is still in process. They're still picking and packing, and they do things in batches, I believe. So that's why there'll be a lot of email notifications, and there'll be like nothing for a while. But then you'll see another big batch of emails go out. So it sucks, but be patient. I'm still waiting on mine. So. At what point do add-ons become available? For the Hour of Need Kickstarter, add-ons are available right from the start. Sometimes we'll throw more add-ons later in the campaign, but right now the ones that are shown on the Kickstarter page are available. So if you want to up your pledge for those, you're more than welcome to. We can do add-ons during the Pledge Manager. Yes, you can. You can increase your pledge during the Pledge Manager, but they will not. That funding in the Pledge Manager will not go towards stretch goals. The only things during the Kickstarter will be for stretch goals. Yes. Yeah, okay, cool. I think that's all of them. Are you in the Kickstarter comments?
No, I was doing what Scotty asked me to text the University people that link.
Okay.
I'm not sure how important that was, but
Cool. We're up to 15,000 in less than 15 minutes. So let's just keep doing this whole campaign like $1,000.
No, because it has to be
Per minute.
under an hour though, so
it's got to be a little more aggressive.
keep it going faster. You know?
But I'm just saying, if it's steady the entire campaign, that's
The entire campaign's different. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
day one, like
So.
everyone always wants that whole funded in 60 minutes thing. So
Played my first Street Masters game at Neil Adams Comic Shop in Burbank on Saturday. Awesome. Hope you guys had fun with it. Regarding the Aftershock pledges missing the upgrade pack, should we still send individual emails if that's the only issue? I believe the update will address that, but I'm pretty sure that if it's just the missing Aftershock upgrade pack, that's known. That's a known issue. And I believe that after the Black Box and Blacklist are going to work together to have the list of everybody affected and just ship those out to everybody when they get. The update will tell you for sure, but I'm pretty sure that you won't have to worry about sending emails for that. Yeah, the playmats are awesome. I love playmats. Like the Street Master playmats are great. I just love having my play area organized. You know, with card slots and everything. It's great, and
it's awesome.
it's pretty cool.
These stretch goals are fun, guys. Just saying.
Yeah, let's unlock these stretch goals so we can show off some of these cool things we want to unlock.
Just see those guys. I like that.
Yes, I got a question here saying first time Kickstarter, can you get multiple of each add-on? Yes, you can upgrade. You can up your pledge by whatever number you want, and in the pledge manager, you will apply your excess funds to whatever you want. So, for example, if you pledge for 129, so you have $20 extra on top of the Justice tier. In the pledge manager, you can take those $20. You can pick out what you want. You can say, I want 2 hero mats, and that's $20, and bam, you're set. You can even in the pledge manager, you can also add even more money if you got paid or whatever, and you want to add more money to your pledge. You can do that in the pledge manager. Yeah, playmats are a must-have for me too. I love them. Lore book, probably not. The reason why Aftershock got one is because that game had been out for a bit and had some time to develop, a foundation. If this game does well, we will definitely consider it in the future because we would love to flesh these characters out more. But we like to get the game out there and make sure people like it functions well, it does what we want. So, can confirm. I got 2 playmats for Street Masters, and they make everything so convenient. My only regret is cheaping out on the additional dice. Yeah, extra dice are awesome. We would love to cram as much dice as we can possibly fit into a core game, but then it's like less content, so we kind of have to balance that. So we like to offer extra dice packs because I always want more dice. Even if I have enough dice, I still want more. I just like having extra dice on hand. Yeah, it's throwing me off too. I really don't like how we're wearing the same shirt. This happened.
Mine has a lightning bolt on it.
You can't tell.
It's a
Look,
flash,
it's the same color.
and it was underneath. See, it's your fault for having the heat cranked up here. I was wearing a sweatshirt, and you made me take it off because it's hot.
my shirt does not have the flash, but
And you live here. Go change your shirt. Go get a different shirt on.
no, this shirt's comfortable, and I picked it out today because I like it. So,
It's not the same shirt, Justin.
big fan of the orange. What's that? What? Justin said that? What are you talking about?
Justin on the chat, on the Skype chat.
Oh, I thought I thought he was watching the stream. Big fan of the orange dice, that burst font. Yeah, the orange dice are awesome. Looks very comic booky. We try to make sure every game we do that uses this kind of custom dice, we try to do different colors every time. So Alter Quest had those green, clear teal ones. Brook City had blue. Street Masters had red. So we got orange here. What size is the playmat? I forget the dimensions, but I believe it's the same as the Street Masters one. So anybody who has the Street Masters one, they measured it. I don't have the dimensions on hand or in my brain, so. Jonathan Spotswood just back. Love you guys. Thanks, man. We love you too. Yes, but sorry, I'm just trying to catch up all these comments. Do you think it'll be possible to consolidate the expansion and stretch goals into the core box? For this game, I don't know, but I want to.
It was a fitting question.
Yeah,
It depends on the stretch goals.
Yeah, it depends on the stretch goals. Ideally, what I would love to do is make going forward is if we do our stretch goal boxes, to be more of the storage box.
Yeah,
so
the stretch goal box would be like an all-inclusive storage solution,
so
preferably.
it could be like an exclusive box for Kickstarter backers that can store all their stuff for that Kickstarter. Not sure if that's possible production-wise, but we're definitely going to keep that in mind as a possibility for our future games. Does the regular hit on the dice have 3 markers on it? Yeah, this right here is the success symbol.
Yeah, there's no multiple
like
successes.
pop, pop, pop.
It's just one hit. Yeah.
Yeah, so that icon is the success symbol. The mask is the focus symbol, and then the burst, that's the critical. That's the boom. This dice bursts into multiple dice. Just saying again, we need a Street Masters RPG. That's not out of the question. I know that Blacklist has mentioned that they like that idea, so if there's a burgeoning role-playing game designer out there that wants to take that on, I don't think that's something that Brady and I would do, but that's just something to we're open to. So, oh no, I saw something bad in the chat.
What?
Oh, FAQ. That's not a big deal. That's not a huge deal. I'm missing all these chats. Are you in the Kickstarter comments?
Yeah.
Anything concerning?
Mike is on there talking. Mike Kelly. That's concerning me.
Oh, Mike. That's always concerning. Okay. I've been running in a...
There's been a lot of questions too. I'll address this here. People keep asking about stretch goals, like why they're not included in the tiers. And I think we might have mentioned it before, but like with how much stuff we cram in stretch goal boxes, we just cannot afford to put those on every pledge level. The tiers have to be partitioned out as they are because we just add so much stuff into the stretch goal boxes.
Yeah, we based this Kickstarter comparing it to previous, as our Kickstarters have been, how well they've been doing. We kind of, that's all we have to judge on is, like we look at our previous Kickstarters and see how they do. And typically we unlock a lot of stretch goals. And we just can't, we could not possibly afford to put those stretch goals into a $60 tier. Like we couldn't do it. But we still wanted to offer an affordable option for people who just want to try the game out and they want to support the company. That's what it's for. We're not trying to make the offer the best bargain or whatever. Like we want to sell the game for a reasonable price, and if people want to back that, great, they get that game. But if they want everything in this big box of stuff, that's going to be at least $100. I've been running an RPG Street Master World already. Awesome, that's awesome. Street Masters app win. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for that one.
There's a lot of waiting involved with that kind of stuff.
+1 for RPG and more Street Masters in general, and more Sadler games overall. A horror game next. A horror game is tempting.
It's been constantly discussed. There's plenty of ideas for it.
How far into Gloomhaven are you? I don't play Gloomhaven. We played about four quests or 4 scenarios in the
I think
campaign, and then
we play tested enough of it during with Isaac when we were working with him for his first Kickstarter. We play tested quite a bit, and we also designed a couple scenarios. So it's there's not every game we work on is something we can go back and play a lot. So we played a little bit of the final product, but we definitely didn't dig into as much as other people have. So I think we got probably maybe a dozen plays in or something on the final game. $20K in 20 minutes. You guys are awesome.
keeping up with my what do you call it?
Trending.
Pace. The pace I suggested.
I forget Ultra Quest. I know we were streaming with Ultra Quest when we.
I think it was 2 hours or something like that. I'm not sure. It's been so long. It's been earlier this year. I need a fancy storage for Brook City and more stuff for that game. Yeah, we've definitely heard that. We want to make sure that everybody who backed that game got it because there was some issues with Brazil and some people who completed their pledge managers after the deadline, or there was an incomplete pledge managers. They haven't got the game yet, and we had to do an emergency reprint. They got lost, and it's been a nightmare. But we're trying to wrap everything up for that game before we do anything else with it. So, I know this is real early, but just wondering what's your next world after this in Contra. Have you thought about sci-fi or mystery or something? Oh yeah, we've thought about tons of stuff.
Blaster Master.
we have a lot of ideas. But we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We have some exciting stuff planned for next year, and some straight to retail stuff like Contra. So we're trying to expand what we're doing, bring in some new designers too. We definitely want to feature some new designers in the Blacklist catalog. So
Yeah, and we want to get expand the catalog enough where it can stabilize, and we can do, like, for example, this game, the Hour of Need. I would love to be just one of our flagship games where we could do just, you know, an annual expansion. Here's a new Hour of Need expansion, because there's so much to explore, and I just love the theme. I mean, it's probably one of my all-time favorite themes ever. So mostly just get more product that's, you know, more accessible, affordable for everybody, and just do more support for the games that people support.
when will you do a horror-based MDS game? We want to. We'll just say
Well,
we'd love to.
But MDS might.
Well, yeah, it doesn't have to be an MDS game. We'll definitely do a Sadler horror game.
Because we've been we love deck-based games, obviously, but it just, after doing so many, we kind of want to just, you know, try some other stuff, and we have other ideas outside of just the MDS. So this is the last MDS game, but we are looking at other types of designs.
It's not the same shirt, Adam. I think that's Adam that said that. But these just happen to look the same color.
Is it King Bread?
I think that's
Yeah. Don't you see the lightning bolt here? The flash thing.
With all the cards you've developed for these games, can you do any card tricks now? No, we can design a lot of cards, but I didn't know you worked on Gloomhaven. Yeah, we just did a guest scenario for that.
Yeah, it was mostly for you know,
Kickstarter.
because Isaac's local, so we hang out with him and chat a lot. So he just wanted us to have one of his stretch goal as guest designer things.
Do you think the Walking Dead game would have been a bigger hit if Blacklist had done it?
Well, I mean,
I believe so.
I don't think it would have been. I mean, it depends. If you mean like a license, if we were working with Walking Dead, the license, it has a lot of a hindrance to, you know, productivity and everything.
Yeah. Yes,
but
but
if,
I think the Blacklist would have handled the production better.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah,
I think it would have been better.
we would have been able to, because we'd have more say in it. Because, you know, with some publishers, you kind of hand off a design, they take it from there, and they polish it off. But if we were the ones doing everything, you know, the final touches, then yeah, I think it would come out a much different beast.
I agree. A Western game would be really cool. Really cool. What's the hell yeah 4?
Maybe even the Walking Dead thing. I don't know.
Oh.
As an Alter Quest, did you do the Alter Quest one? I wanted to pick up one other MBS game, Street Masters or Hour of Need. In your opinion, why would someone choose one over the other? Mainly, Street, like for
You skipped one though.
oh, what was that one?
So
Well, let me answer this real
so-
quick. So the Street Masters, obviously there's a lot of product for, a lot of content for.
But this one's quick though. This one says, "Do choose my add-ons now or later in the Kickstarter." You don't choose them. You can add the value you need to the pledge, and then you'll pick out during the pledge manager. You'll pick out what the extra value you can.
You apply those funds to wherever. So Street Masters has a lot more content. Obviously, it's already out there. So if you wanted something quickly, that's probably a good bet. This one is much, and also I should say Street Masters. It's much more geared toward lower player counts. If you want, you know, quick playing games, like 1 to 2 players is a sweet spot. 3 to 4 can go a little longer, but if you have like an evening planned for it, it's great. Hour of Need, I think it is more versatile in that sense, where it goes from 1 player to 6 player, and it doesn't affect the game time unless you have a lot of, you know, AP or discussion based players that want to, you know, evaluate everything before moving forward. I think the game promotes a quicker game time, and the themes are obviously, you know, if you like comic books, Caped Heroes, obvious choice. Street Masters is more geared toward the gritty, you know, video game, beat 'em up style games. So they both have their appeals. I think Street Masters is probably much more of just a straight tactical game. This one has tactical movement and everything, but it's much more crisis management essentially.
Yeah, I do agree. A Western game would be awesome. I'd love to do a Western game. Any chance of a sci-fi, space combat, or mecha game? If we did a sci-fi game, I would want to do a more like Star Trek style sci-fi. I like crews of ships and, you know, different stations on the ship, dealing with problems, and, you know, like more than just combat. That's my kind of a sci-fi. As far as mecha, I know there's like different kinds of mecha, but I think the kinds of mech stuff that we're into is like back when we were kids, we played with Exo Squad toys, and that Exo Squad show is a good example of the kind of mech stuff we like.
I also just like vehicular stuff,
yeah.
like not just mechs. Like I like
Tanks.
Like one of my favorite games
trucks.
is I've talked about a lot in our stream is Blaster Master, that video game where you just have a tank that you upgrade. You every level you play, every boss you fight gets you more gear for your tank. You get like hovering and wall climb. But I love to do a game in a setting like that where it's like you have these tanks, modifiable tanks, mechs, planes, subs, like all kinds of different things that you can just do all kinds of adventures on, and I have a lot of ideas for that, so that's definitely a possibility. But that would have obviously some mechs and stuff in it too. So,
how many backers do we have so far? 261 backers. All right.
oh, jumped up to $4,000. Cool. I'm not sure how much stall there is on the funding data.
All right. Sally Brothers game crossover. Yeah, that'd be a bit of a project, crossing over all of our games. Aftershock is arriving at my place today, and now we're being watched on the same day. This is the day of Sadler. Oh, sorry to bombard you so much, Michael. Will you guys be interested in someone painting some of the minis for you during the campaign? I'm not sure during the campaign because it's we're doing a shorter campaign this time. I'm not sure if anybody saw, but it's only a 20-day campaign, I believe. So we don't really have a ton of minis to send to a painter to take care of that, but that would have been cool. Questions? What made you guys decide on having the scheme on the board rather than a deck? It's both.
These things.
Both. There is a scheme deck. There's an issue deck and an issue board.
Oh, I thought he meant like why these were on the board.
The scheme panels. That's just because we wanted them right there for you, easy to play, no extra things to deal out at the start of the game, quicker setup.
Yeah, mostly because one thing people wanted more of in games like Brook City and stuff is having more direct ties between what the villain is doing, and this is the easiest way to do it, and without having a lot of extra cards, because these will just have fixed things the villain's doing for each issue, and those are referenced by these other scheme cards that you're trying to solve. So it kind of has both sides without extra cards in play, and it just works really well. It also looks really cool. I like how it looks kind of like a comic book with these scheme panels over here. The board is double-sided. Yeah, each board will have two sides, one and two issues. Like this is the Century Heist board, and in the final game it'll probably be either like the Making Waves board or the Automated Chaos. So it'll fold like this. The demo kit, like I was saying before, the demo kit's folded quad fold, but they'll just be bifold boards, kind of like booklet sized, and they'll have one on one side. So you unfold it, it'll have one issue on one side, one issue on the other side.
Guys, I missed the book for Street Masters. Any option of buying the PDF? Not right now because it's more of a collector's item. It was not like a necessary thing for the game. We wanted to make something that was a collector's item that you could get from the Kickstarter. But it will be, any remaining stock after fulfillment will be available on the Blacklist web store while supplies last. And after it sells out, we'll have to figure out if what we're gonna do with it, if it's gonna be reprinted or not. Any word on Heroes of Terran expansions? Nothing. I mean, even if we had any information, we couldn't say anything. That's all FFG. I will say though, if that game ends up not doing anything, we're gonna do something similar like with that game with Blacklist instead, because we can control content for it. So we'll see how the future pans out for that game, but we're still hoping for expansions. It's a great little game, and we want to see it expanded. Is the board double-sided? Yes, the issue boards will be double-sided. Yeah, you addressed that. Just broke the quarter mark. Awesome. Hey, what's up, Ryan? Good to see you here. Any chance of adding Street Masters playmat to the Blacklist store? Yes. After the Kickstarter fulfillment of Aftershock is complete, we're gonna calculate the stock, compile it all, because we have to consolidate from all the various shipping hubs, and then we will put it up for sale on the web store when it is all ready to go. All right, I think I finally caught up with all those questions. So let's see how the Kickstarter's doing. Yeah, looks like we are 25,000. Nice. It's cruising along. This is my third Blacklist pledge. Thank you for your backing, Panos. Adam, do you recall which green and blue paints you used for Axel and Reese? Sorry I waited this long to put after you posted on Facebook. I can check real quick because I used contrast paints. It was a test, but I will go check real quick. I'll be right back.
Was it the Warpstone green for?
I don't think so. Actually, it might have been the Warp Lightning. So the colors I used as a test, I probably wouldn't have used these again because I think the Axle came out too bright blue, but it was the Talisar Blue and the Warp Lightning. Those are the paints I used for the Axel and Reese miniatures. Watch the comments for a minute, I'll be right back.
On the YouTube? Am I missing it, or has there not been a Blacklist email blast from Kickstarter to all previous Blacklist game backers? Actually, there is a newsletter. I just don't know if it goes out immediately on launch. I'll check into that, but usually there's like a periodic one that goes out. Is Blacklist your company, or are you guys just the lead designers for them? Blacklist it's a newer company, so it's a really small company. It's just a collection of 3 or 4 of us. So
It's not our company.
yeah, we don't own the company. We're just the first employees. We have Scotty now as our marketing guru and content developer, and then we have Justin Lucas is our creative director for like all of our graphic design and art needs and stuff. So you can also follow Blacklist. Yeah, the Kick Track says we're on track. We're trending toward 250.
That's a good question, though. Do we send out a blacklist?
Yeah, Scotty just said he's sending it out. He just
okay.
said he sent out a newsletter later today.
Was it in the comments?
In the Skype thing.
Okay, but you addressed that then?
Well, I just told him I think it's going out at some point, so I didn't change my answer.
Okay. Are you caught up with all the questions then, or should I?
I think. Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm adding this defeat thing because.
All right, so yeah, I think we will wrap up the stream here shortly, unless there's more questions, because we have quite a bit to catch up on here. We also have a couple other streams today, or at least one other stream today with Board Game Spotlight. Is that it?
I think.
Cool. So, anyway, guys, if you have any other questions about the Kickstarter or our review in general, Blacklist games, feel free to drop them in. We'll answer them while we're here. But we will be taking a break here soon to catch up on a few things before our next stream. And then we'll be in the Kickstarter comments throughout the whole Kickstarter. So if you don't get your question answered today, you'll definitely be able to catch us there. How many sleeves do I need if you want to triple sleeve the cards? 0, because you don't want to do that. But we'll have a total card count closer to production, because things might change in development, stretch goals, all that stuff. So we will get a final card count eventually. Have the Aftershock Original Street Masters pledges already been shipped out to the U.S. or are they shipping later? I'm pretty sure the worldwide shipping for Aftershock has already begun, so it's shipping all over the place. But it's a long process with a current fulfillment company, so not sure how long it's going to take. But like I said, I haven't even got mine yet, so I'm in the boat with you guys waiting on my pledge because they've been, shipping them out in batches. And I'm also not sure if the fix the blacklist is taken care of to address the missing stretch goal box for certain pledges is going to interrupt that shipping, or if it's going to commence at the end of the shipping. I'm not sure about that yet, but watch the Aftershock Kickstarter for the update, the official update. Thank you for the congratulations on the marriage. Yes, that was. I'm glad all that's over. We had a busy month last month, so. Yes, we're happy to have you back, Baz. Be sure to share the campaign to all your friends, all your gaming friends. Unlock as many stretch goals as we can. We're testing this one as our first 20-day campaign. We usually do 30-day campaigns, which I feel like was a little too long. Kind of the middle of the campaign was kind of dead, but the initial rush and the last rush were helpful. We're going to try to do a shorter campaign because that long campaign seems a little too long. We'll see how it goes, though. We're still a young company, so we still need as much opportunity as possible to get as many eyes on the page as we can. Maybe this time it will be a Kickstarter project we love because superheroes are cool and they're hot right now. What was the one that we got? Was it just the first Street Masters? We got one that was Project We Love, I thought. I think it was the first Street Masters, but
This one has to get it, man. Come on, look at that cover.
yeah, I don't know if we'll hit the goal before our next stream. So, I mean, it'd be awesome if we did, but maybe we'll hop on a stream when we're close. Oh, there's Scotty. Yeah, if this keeps up, we'll fund today, which would be awesome. We'll see. Cool. Yeah, I think we got caught up with all the questions. We will take a break.
Coming up on 30K.
Before our next live stream, and hopefully, if you have any questions that we didn't answer today or in this live stream, we'll be in the Kickstarter comments all day. So hop in there. Catch you later.
Thanks for backing. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks for watching the playthrough. See ya.